Legislation, arrest for hurtful words, thought crime debanked, fired. This has all been the case for a few years now. And digital programmable money, mass surveillance, social credit scores, 15-minute cities, pay per mile to drive. Yes, the US infrastructure is already in place for that. Centrally controlled food supply. All these things will follow soon. More tax, less freedom, and prison for anyone who objects. But right now, we have a new Labour government, and we could not have imagined how quickly and vigorously these new totalitarians, this morally bankrupt, communist, bewildered, one-term Labour government would have set about implementing their evil plans. We explained previously how totalitarians use all the institutions of the state to create the facade of fairness, due process, and a democracy. It's all a facade. Well, in fact, they seek to destroy the very fabric of our society with their so-called progressive ideologies. Progressive ideologies that care not a bit for the oppressed, but use social justice as a veil for their hatred of the status quo. These totalitarians create division and chaos as a pretext to usher in their totalitarian utopia. Division and chaos, they both serve their purpose. And they create phantoms, imaginary foes. They turn the gullible against these imaginary demons. Why do they do this? Well, they have no power if they are scrutinised and exposed for what they are. They have no power if the people unite against them. And they are driven by three emotions. Three emotions lie at the heart of every totalitarian regime. And Keir Starmer's regime is no different. They are driven by lust, fear, and loathing. They are driven by lust, a lust for power. They will say and do anything to get it. They will say and do anything to keep it. This includes lying to us. We won't take away the winter fuel allowance. We won't raise taxes. They get elected, they take away the winter fuel allowance from thousands and thousands of pensioners on as little as £30,000 a year.
But how can you justify it to viewers who feel like it is an attack on some people who've worked hard all their lives? They're not wealthy, they don't have money to spare, and this year, if it's cold, they're going to be looking at the thermostat and wondering if they can pay their bills.
According to Labour's Lucy Powell, they had to do this to stop the economy crash.
That is a barefaced lie. Just £1.5 billion was saved, while £21 billion was voluntarily spent on public sector pay rises and foreign climate aid. When Ed Miliband excitedly promises to decarbonise the grid by 2030, again, he is being completely dishonest. As the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Darren Jones, innocently leaked some time ago, the true cost is going to be hundreds of billions of pounds with an almost impossible transformation of infrastructure.
There's a report, of course, commissioned by the Labour Party back in 2017, which forecast that thousands of pensioners could die, could literally freeze to death because of this change.
If we have the money, billions every year, to look after people who are given nothing to this country, why do we not have 1.2 billion to give money to people who have contributed to the system?
They removed the energy price cap and prices jump by 10% for everyone. And if you've worked hard all your life, look out, because they're coming for your savings and your pensions. And don't forget, while he's robbing you, Free Gear Kia, he's had to declare more than £100,000 of freebies and gifts, more than any other MP in our country. And they say they've just found a £22 billion black hole in the nation's finances.
We have found a £22 billion black hole in the economy. And that's what this is all about, making sure we fix the foundations. And then having done that we can build a better future that pensioners and so many other people voted for in this election.
But they knew about the state of finances long before the elections. They just forgot to mention their plans. And when asked to spell out the details of the claimed black hole, they refuse. They're not telling. They won't. The dog ain't my homework. Ridiculous. They're not hiding the political choices they've made. They're actually proud of them. They can't use your taxes, remember our taxes, that's whose tax it is yours. They can't use them to help freezing pensioners this winter. But they can choose to send £3 billion a year of your tax to Ukraine to drag us towards war with Russia, instead of pursuing peace. They choose to send £6.4 billion a year of your taxes to support asylum and illegal migration. That's according to the Institute for Fiscal Studies. That's up 50% from last year and 6 times higher than in 2018. What's it going to look like next year or the year after? That's right, 6.4 billion in support of unilateral cultural suicide.
Angela Rayner has announced that she's abandoning plans to give British people, in brackets, who have paid their stamp or taxes, close brackets, priority council housing. We're going to allow migrants to get that. If you thought that wasn't bad enough, I'd love your response to this, because this sent me today quite literally over the edge. If you're a terrorist and you wanted to get social housing, you were going to be banned under Labour's manifesto. That's been reversed as well today. So what we're saying then is we're going to allow millions of people to come into this country and take away homes or whatever from British people who need them. And that is not racist to make that comment. That is an absolute proven fact.
It is a proven fact, and that, amongst other reasons, is why people from all those deprived communities across the United Kingdom have been protesting against immigration for the last few weeks.
They choose to give away 8 billion of your taxes on climate aid. That's giving money to other countries to help them for their so-called climate challenges. 8 billion of your money, but can't keep pensioners warm. They choose to spend trillions, yes, trillions of your taxes to pursue their own net zero wet dream, exporting our carbon emissions to China and India as we commit unilateral industrial disarmament and drive millions and millions into fuel poverty. Don't take my word for it.
Full video at Urban Scoop News.
Climate change.
I say not only is carbon dioxide good, it is essential, and it's a good thing that we are putting some more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because it was running low before we came along. If we had definitive proof that CO2 was causing serious problems and we could